Hey everybody, Garak here. I've got a little project I've been working on for a little bit now that I'd like to share with everyone. I call it the Atlas mining platform. It's a vehicle, like a ground vehicle based mining rig. Um, I've been wanting to make one of these for a while, just because of the challenges in Space Engineers with ground based mining vehicles, like there's no thrusters on it or anything like that. And this is pretty much what I came up with. Um, I really like building, like ground-based vehicles and everything. They're a lot of fun. They're, a bit more challenging in this game than some others compared to like atmospheric miners and things like that. But let me hop out here. We'll go through the ship and I'll give you a little bit of an overview of how it works. So this thing currently can reach about a depth of around 130, 140 meters, depending on the terrain the vehicle is sitting on. It uses these large support beams that are inside the glass here to support a huge drill head. Let me hop down here, we'll take a look at it. This is the drilling head. I designed it quite wide and large like this because, as I'll show you in a little bit when we actually go and drill something, the ore patches in the game spawn fairly flat, like they're horizontal to like the surface mostly, but they're not very thick. Like the whole ore patch might be from like that drill head to the ground. So I wanted something that could grab a large wide chunk out of it all at once, so I didn't have to drill down over and over and over just to, like, you go down 100 meters and then take out 3 or 4 meters of ore. So that's kind of why I wanted to do something this large. So this is the drill head here. It uses these huge shafts that go up that are supported by the rotors all the way around. This is for stability. It's actually powered by a piston. That's what raises and lowers the drill head up and down. I could make it taller, but this is just kind of what I went with it. Most of the ore patches I run into are about 100 to 125, 130 meters deep anyway, so it could hit most of them no problem. Back here I've got an ejector system. This array here is for stone and ice, and this one here is for offloading at my base when I take it back. The one large cargo container is enough, for me. You could easily add more, there's lots of room. I've got a couple of scout ships that I made, Scylla and Charybdis, here on the back. Can hop in one of those, go out, find the ore, drop a waypoint, then come back and get the miner itself and bring it out. This thing actually drives pretty well for something its size. Like I'll show you in a minute. We'll hop in and go find some ore and drill it out, but it gets around pretty good. Handles the terrain decently enough. I mean, it's not going to go up the side of a mountain or something, but like it moves around pretty good. Let's see, we'll run back over here. I do have a second command deck that's like underneath, where you can come down and you can hop in here and control the drill and everything. It took me a while to come up with a design for a like a ground vehicle miner, just because a lot of them, they either can't dig very deep or they're really unwieldy, flop all over the place if you got like huge towers, or some of them, I watched a guy quarry down really deep, just a layer at a time kind of thing, but it didn't, it just took him forever to get to the ore, and I wanted something that was less a hassle to drive, but also, like really functional. And get a little bit of a nice look at the towers here. So this piston and the conveyor tube that comes out and down, I actually just recently added that. There's a current bug with connectors that gave me an issue with the original design. The original one had no piston. It was just those arrays of rotors are what drove the system up and down. Like they lifted all the weight. The drill shafts themselves, I guess I didn't mention this, I've got a projector here. puts on a nice big projection. And then at the top of these towers, there's welders and grinders. So as that goes down, it welds on new pieces. This is in survival, by the way, so there's iron plates in there. And when I bring it back up, I grind them off. The original system could go up to depths of, like, I've had it over 400 meters down, but due to a bug with the connectors currently, the drill head falls off when you disconnect that one, so I had to add the pistons so it's a solid connection. Let's go ahead and go find some ore, and I will show this thing in action here. Turn the parking brake off. Here we go. You can see it gets up to speed pretty quick. I have it capped at like 90 kilometers an hour or something right now, just so it's not too fast, but I've never had it even think about flipping over. It's got a pretty wide footprint. And most of the weight is in the bottom of it anyway, despite these large looking towers that I have. I think there's some ore down this way. We'll cruise over here to the other end of the lake and show you guys how it works. Hopefully I'm not the only person out there that enjoys making wheeled vehicles. Feels like an uphill battle sometimes, but it's fun. I get kind of bored with the like the atmospheric miners and things like that. They're just so easy to make. You know, using the thrusters and whatnot. Alright, there's some ore there. Iron and gold looks like. Let's see if we can't. Looks like I've already been mining over here at some point, probably with my original. I had a much smaller version of this guy that I started the game with, kind of as a proof of concept thing. But so I like to get my camera up here so I can center it up over top of the pistons there. Let's pull right up in between these here. If I can't, sorry, it's gonna take just a second to get position. Shoot, maybe we can get some of everything here. Alright, let's give it a try right here. So you can see, I mean, like the hill, you know, went up that hill and everything. It was nice and smooth. Comes right up. Alright, so I'm going to hit 4. And what this is going to do is it's going to lower a landing gear down right here. And that's going to anchor this thing in place. Because once I start lowering that drill head, it will, it'll actually lift the ship right up off the ground. We don't want that. We want to drill a nice straight hole so it doesn't get stuck or anything. The projections are already on. I turned that on. Switch page here. So what I'm going to do is make sure my welders are on, which are on 6, and the grinders are off. You can see up here. And then we will turn the drill heads on and send it down. Oh, whoops, I gotta unlock it too. So 3 unlocks it from the ship. Oh, there it goes. Kind of jerks a little bit at first there, but you can see as it goes, it welds on new pieces. And it's already getting into the ground down there. You can see the stone is already being filtered right out the back. We can hop down and go take a look. And you can see it's already working its way down. These supports are pretty necessary too. If you put a big drill head like that on the end of a bunch of pistons without something to keep it true, that thing will wobble all over the place and just break. sorry about the noise, drills were loud. But yep, you can see it going right on down, no problem. Let me head back up here real quick. Oh, look at that, we've already got 350,000 iron in there, 4 million stone, but this is getting thrown out as fast as it can be. Some of the deposits, you know, if I get lined up nicely, you know, you can pull upwards of 1 million of a particular ore, you know, in one swipe through the deposit and then just pull forward a little or reposition sideways. Also, another nice thing is this great big hole that this makes. This vehicle can drive right over it, no problem. Even if you do like a strip of them, you know, some of the tires go over, it's not a big deal because there's so much overlap on these things. And I know it looks like overkill, but when that thing gets weighted down, you need all these tires driving it to make sure, you know, it can still move. Go down here and take a look real quick. Looks like it's not quite to the gold yet. It should make it there though. Oh geez, it's getting dark. Hopefully you guys can see this. It makes pretty good speed down there too. It's not, you know, it's not terribly slow. Probably could go a little faster if you were flying something manually, but you know, it would take an awful lot of atmospheric thrusters to move a drill head that size, and then let alone fly the weight of all that ore around afterwards. Uh-oh. Oh, this is not supposed to happen. Somehow this one, I don't know if I screwed up and forgot to put all the iron plates back in or what. I was working on this in creative for a little bit earlier. Like I was doing a series where I was playing it all straight up, but I had just recently come back to this, so I was fooling around with it. So I wonder if the iron plates might have worn out up there. Hopefully hopefully this one holds. This one seems to be doing fine. So as long as there's one, it'll pull it back in when we go back up. The original system was pretty cool though. Without the piston, like these, you know, wheel and rotor setup that I've got could actually lift about 2.6 million kilograms, you know, from depths of, like I said, over 400 meters deep, which was pretty cool. Alright, looks like we've pretty much tapped out there, so let's go up and see what we got. Sorry, my flying skills are terrible. Not bad. 100,000 gold, well 80,000 and 360,000 iron. And it'll get rid of that stone pretty quick. Okay, let's go ahead and zip down and have that thing come back up. So now what I have to do is turn off the welders, turn the grinders on. You can see it's already at work there. I'll let it get that first one off because it might drop one down. Just to make sure it'll get the other ones on the way up. And then I just turn the drills off and reverse, and it'll come right on back up at the same speed. So the pros and cons of like using pistons versus the wheel drive, by the way, is the wheels, you don't have a connection to the drill head, so all the weight stays in the drill head. So you have to be mindful of, like, you know, how much you drill. Like what I would do is control the drill head manually, so I went down and right click with the drilling to get all the crap out of the way and then drill just the ore. With this system, obviously the pistons can allow the ore to transfer directly up, so the drill head, aside from these support beams being welded on, it never gets any heavier. So it's definitely no problem for the pistons to lift. It's just with the piston system, you're limited on how deep you can go versus how tall you want this thing to be. I mean, it could probably, you know, I could add another I don't know what, like 3 or 4 pistons higher wouldn't look terrible, and it could, you know, add another 20-30 meters or something like that. So let this come up. I know this is a little long, but I kind of wanted to go through the whole process of, you know, hitting a vein really quick and let everyone see about how long it takes. A little shot. Yeah, see, that's already back in there, so no problem. It's still aligned. Here it comes. No damage or anything. It, you know, I do have block damage turned on. All this stuff works without destroying itself. But you can see right there what I was talking about with the ore. See, the vein of ore is very, you know, horizontal to like the ground up top, but it's not very thick. You know, so if you've got a really small drill head, it's like you come down and you hit just like, you know, just that. It's, you end up having to do it over and over. Whereas this can take a great big old chunk out, and you got lots of material to work with. The this connector here doesn't actually have to transfer anything. Its sole purpose is to lock this nice and firm when the drill head is up, so that it doesn't jostle at all during travel. Sorry, my phone went off. Alright, she's almost, whoops, sorry. Here it comes. The, this bouncing effect, I might have to play with the wheels a little bit. I think I might actually have them turned on so they're resisting the movement slightly. It should be a little bit more smooth than that, but that's a pretty easy toggle. I'll have to double check it. So this will get up here, it'll get into position, and then all I gotta do is pop up and lock it in place. So there, that's locked. And then it's good to go. Turn the projections off, just save some frames. Sometimes it can be a little laggy because they're like 500 meters long or something like that. Unlock the piston on the outside, and that should be racing up. And then I'm good to return to base. And it's as easy as that. I mean, you can see I could have pulled forward or sideways there and kept right on mining. I got lots of space. I don't think I'm gonna videotape me driving all the way back, but basically I just have some you know, some of the hoppers or whatever they're called, like in the ground back at the base, and I just pull up over them, like I center it and just let all the ore drop in and get processed. But you can see this thing handles the terrain pretty well. It's got a really big footprint. It doesn't tip at all because, like I said, the weight is pretty low. It's got plenty of power even with all that extra weight, you know, to just move around here. So hope you guys enjoyed it. I'm gonna throw this up on the workshop and let people play with it. Let me know what they think, you know, see if they have any ideas for me. You guys have a good one. Thanks.